Dinuka McKenzie. Welcome to Totally Lit.
Hello, Kylie. How you going? Or Kai, I should say. We had this conversation before we started, and I've already screwed it up, haven't I?
I don't mind, my name is Kylie. I do answer to that out in the wild.
But it's Kai. It's podcast Kai. So hi,
Yeah,
Kai.
podcast Kai. I'm Ky
Yes.
Garvey, host of Totally Lit. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm very excited. I'm a big crime fiction fan, so I'm like, yay, Dinuka's on the show. Did you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah. Okay. So I am an author. I'm the author of the Kate Miles series, the Detective Kate Miles series, which are kind of police procedurals set in northern New South Wales. And then in July this year, I have a brand new standalone book coming out. It's called She Lied First, and it is set in Sydney in the beachside suburb of Cronulla. And it's about two sisters and all the lies and the secrets that they're hiding from each other. So that should be very cool. And yes, and apart from obviously the writing part of it, I'm very excited to also be an ambassador for Chapters for Change, which lovely Sal runs. And I guess that's what we're here to chat about today, which is great.
That is what we're here to chat about today, Chapters for Change and their readathon. So you're a wonderful ambassador for Chapters for Change, which is an amazing way to give back to the writing community and to promote literacy. Did you want to tell me about how you became involved with Chapters for Change and how long you've been connected with them?
Yeah, so I think I've been an ambassador for 3 years. Hopefully I haven't got that wrong. But yeah, basically Sally approached me and when she told me about the project, I was like, yeah, of course. I mean, I would love to be a part of it because obviously Chapters for Change is all about raising funds for literacy projects in Cambodia, and importantly, it's sort of community-led projects, so it's locally led projects. It's not kind of imposed sort of charity work. It's that, the money is raised and the local people know exactly where that money is going and what to spend it on because they know sort of what works for them. And I think that kind of is always the best way. And sort of I think it really makes a difference when those kind of things aren't imposed, but rather locally led and locally run. And so that's very much the focus of Human and Hope, sort of the overall charity that the readathon is part of. And then, Chapters for Change readathon is kind of a specific yearly fundraising initiative that happens in July every year. And it's just a great way of supporting kind of literacy projects and everything that Human and Hope do. So, yeah.
Fantastic. And last year I spoke to Danielle Binks about Chapters for Change, and she was determined that no one would read more books than her. Are you participating in the readathon yourself?
Okay, so the thing is, because it's like right up to the lead up to my book, I'm not actually participating. However, I do donate and I make sure to sort of support it through sort of promoting it and sort of through that ambassador work. So I should be doing it myself, but yes, turns out
So
I'm
she
doing the
might take
ambassador work.
the,
Yes.
the title out this year.
I know, that's right. Exactly. Exactly. I'll be cut for next year. That's right. Yes. And so, rightly so. Yeah.
And so what sort of activities have you been doing as part of you being an ambassador? Have you been going out to visit schools, or are there things you do on your social media?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's more sort of a general social media kind of promotion of what the project is about, how you can get involved in it. And what's great about authors getting involved in being ambassadors for this is because we already have that network of audience of readers out there. And often people are looking for ways of, you know, doing something meaningful in terms of fundraising or charity work and things like this. And often, I guess, giving that donation, but this is something where you can actually do something that you would normally do anyway. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Do the thing that you love anyway. And I think actually, like, for people who haven't, like, sort of aren't big readers or are looking to get back into reading or are specifically looking for that kind of detox, like that phone detox or digital detox in their life, this is actually a really good way to get back into reading. Because you know how often you're just like, oh, I really need to read more this year.
Mm.
I used to be big reader and I've kind of fallen off it, or you're in that kind of slump where you're focusing on Netflix or whatever. And then, but this is actually a really good way of doing it in the same way that you give yourself a target for, like, say, doing a fun run or whatever. It's very similar, So I think it is genuinely for people who are big readers anyway and can easily incorporate this into their lives because they're already doing it and they're, raising funds for literacy. So, win-win. But I think for like for people who aren't sort of big readers, it's an opportunity that if you have that in your list of things to do for the year, if you know what I mean, like your goals, to go, hey, actually, I'd like to get back into reading. This is actually a perfect way, because the great thing is you can go on the website and then you can choose how many books you want to read. So it doesn't have to be this, like, I will read 20 books. It doesn't have to be that. It can be a manageable amount of books that you feasibly think you can read. And you set that goal for yourself and you can raise money. So, and you can do it as part of a team, which I think is really good, because I think, so going back to the exercise example, having a team will make you accountable as well, in the same way that, when you're exercising with someone, you're far more likely to do it. So I think the reading it in groups is such a cool thing, like, and having teams of people doing it. Yeah. So I think there's plenty of options. It starts in July, obviously. Registrations are now open. Perfect way to start back into reading.
I wanted to share with you that I did notice one of your posts recently. The social media stuff is working. It's like, I was like, oh yes, that's coming up again. I will reach out to Chapters to Change because I'd like to do another interview. And so somebody is seeing the posts, even if it's
Yeah,
just me.
absolutely.
So that's
Exactly.
working.
Yeah,
Um,
no, thank you. And there's so many incredible authors who are doing that ambassador work and are doing those incredibly engaging social media posts, because obviously now with the algorithm, it's like everything has to be a reel and
much
all that kind of
pressure.
stuff. And it has to be so sort of specific. Some of the stuff I've been seeing with the reels is just so funny and engaging, and like it's really like community based and like cheering everyone on who already have formed teams. And so, yeah, so it really, again, feels like a community thing, because it's, the bookstagrammers and readers who already know about it, promote it again in their own feeds. And sort of each year it's growing, and each year I think a little bit more has been added to the fundraising sort of total that's made each year. So there's this community that Sal has grown, and through the ambassadors works as well. But I think, just all of us, like, I don't think it's just the ambassadors. I certainly don't think it's just the ambassadors, but yeah, it's that kind of ripple effect in it. And yeah, I think this amazing kind of community has grown through it, and everyone's like super excited and encouraging of
Yeah,
the
that's
various
great.
teams and groups to do it. So it's really good.
I was checking out the website today as well, and I really loved how there's a lot of things that are tying it into the Cambodian culture. So there's some books that are related. There's recipes. I really enjoyed checking that out and seeing that they're bringing it back to the purpose of why we're reading, why we're raising money.
Yeah, no, exactly. And I was really lucky enough to kind of visit Cambodia at the end of 2024 with my family. And, it's just such a beautiful country, and the people that have gone through so much, and have gone through kind of so much kind of generation trauma. So, and they're still so resilient and still so kind of forward looking and positive despite everything that's happened. And something like this is just a way of giving back, because we all know the difference literacy makes. I mean, it's
Yes.
just kind of a no-brainer for all of us, and it's so ingrained, and we take so much for granted that we don't realize what a disadvantage it will be if you just didn't have those basic literacy skills, and how much, how many steps behind you that automatically makes you, so just giving that gift to children and to adults to be able to be literate in their own language, and also then, I think there are English programs as well as part of this that they do to learn those basic skills that we just take so much for granted. It's such a huge gift, and a very small amount will. I think it's off the top of my head. I think it was like $25, which is still, which is a relatively small amount, and I think is something that we can all aim towards would make a huge difference in terms of the work that they do converted to, Cambodian currency. So yeah, so I think like it's such a good way of paying it forward.
It must have been a wonderful experience to be able to actually be in the country as well and see what is happening there and why it's important to be promoting these kind of programs.
Yeah, anytime you get to go to any kind of overseas country, I mean, and particularly with your kids, you kind of go, okay, actually, you realize actually how much you have in your homes and how much you take for granted and how much like sort of privilege we see with, really something like Chapters for Change is sort of something very, very simple that we can do that makes a huge difference to someone else's life. And in the end, we're doing something that we all kind of love doing in terms of reading, but actually the money that's being raised makes fundamental, lifelong changes to someone's life. Having that privilege already, it's kind of hard for us to even imagine. It really is life changing for so many kids and adults who don't have that opportunity at the moment.
Well, thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to encourage all my listeners to go to the Chapters for Change website and
Yes.
sign up because I think also we all want to beat Danielle Binks with her count for the.
Yes, yes.
So the
I'm
gauntlet
already.
is thrown down again this year.
That's right. Exactly. Clearly not going to meet that, but what I will say is, if you aren't able to do it, the donations page is always open, and so many people have already donated just for the readathon. But also, you can go and then donate and support your favorite bookstagrammers and the teams you're supporting. So you can always get involved that way, and also importantly, you can actually get involved from overseas as well. So it's really open to everyone, and it begins on the 1st of July and obviously, carries on for the whole month, but registrations are now open and the donations page is open all times.
So make a donation or compete. There are also some wonderful prizes on the website. So there's some giveaways and incentives for participating as well. So,
Yes.
and also the promotion of just random acts of kindness as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. And if you register, and if you do live in Australia, and if you register, you do get sent a registration pack as well, which Sal organises, and that's a lovely thing that you get. So honestly, it's a win-win for everyone involved. So please do get involved.
Well, thank you so much for joining me, Dinuka. It's been
Thank you
great
so
to
much.
chat to you, and I'm looking forward to that. Maybe we can chat again in the future.
Oh yes, please, that'd be wonderful. Thank you so much for having me.